Hi, my name's J.D. Eicher and I sing in the band J.D. Eicher and the Goodnights, and I'm really glad you stopped by this wooded area today. You see, we've got a very special edition of Tour Story for you. One that I'd like to start off with a story, if that's all right. In my early 30s, I was bold and headstrong, and I called up Hollywood right on my cell phone and I said, Hollywood, I want a meeting with all of the major executives. And later that afternoon at the meeting, in front of a large conference room table, I stood at one end and said, ladies and gentlemen, you've been looking for something. But the thing is, that something is right in front of you. You see, I want to make a video series. It'll be small scale, we'll release it on YouTube. It will be irrelevant and uninformative, and it'll loosely and unsuccessfully promote my band's new record, The Shape of Things, which is available at iTunes and other media outlets. Just search J.D. Eicher and the Goodnights. And I got a reaction that I'll be honest, I didn't expect. They started to laugh, right? But the thing is, so did I. And I said, fine, if you don't want to take it seriously, I'll do it myself. And I turned around and I started to head out of that boardroom when one of the gentlemen at the table raised his hand and cleared his voice and said, kid, how you gonna do this without us? And with a small grin on my face, I turned around and I said, Mel Gibson, I've got a digital camera that can record up to 7 minutes of video. That's how. And then I turned around and stalked out of a silent boardroom. I think we can all agree that the rest isn't history. And here we are to show you a little bit of how it's done. Welcome to Tour Story 5, the making of Tour Story, the story behind Tour Story. Let's see how it's done. Like any successful project, it all starts with good lighting, and we carefully plot out the positioning of the floodlights and Dan's headlamp for every scene. Next, we record the audio. As we all know, sound effects in film are produced in very creative ways. The majority of the sounds in the series are actually created with a conventional broom, including some of my vocalizations and monologues. Once we've laid all the audio, then we sit down and we write the episode. And this is a very tedious process, a lot of focus on shading and color, and also what to do with all the audio. The process can take several hours and sometimes several sessions, and in the end, our goal is to settle on something that is high art, but still somewhat accessible. The actual filming is very streamlined. Once we have the lighting up, we just match the video with the previously recorded audio. Let's go ahead and touch on the real meat and potatoes here. Most of Tour Story's critical success comes from its cinematography, and we pay very careful attention to film stock, filters, lenses, focal length, diaphragm aperture, aspect ratio, framing, depth of field. I could go on and on. And we treat it like a careful science, and I think that's really important to Tour Story's success. I think that often the power of costume is underestimated, and I have a helmet and some shirts and stuff, so we always try to make use of it. It may surprise and even amaze many of our viewers to know that I perform about 60% of my own stunts throughout Tour Story, but it's not without the proper preparation. Through the use of specialists and training manuals, we make sure that we make safety a priority, always. The final step for every Tour Story is splicing and editing, and most of this work falls into the lap of Dan Prokop, our stunt specialist, and this is primarily because he's very good at working in tight spaces, and he is amazing with scissors. You gotta see this guy cut a snowflake. It's intricate and yet still tasteful, and I'm just always amazed. So from all of us here in this wooded area, we'd like to say thanks for making Tour Story the most successful, short, and uninformative video series released on YouTube by an indie band that we're aware of without looking too hard. Thanks, and ride easy, friends.